Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Seven Smushed Eggy channel. This is part 3 of my CD collection, and I must confess that I have bought more CDs in the span of time that I made the last video. So I will have to kind of backtrack a bit, but I promise we will get through. We'll get through it, okay? We'll get through it. I don't know if I'm gonna finish again. You know me. You know me. I never fucking finish. But let us begin. I'm gonna try to go in alphabetical order again. I might flub it up, okay? But I bought this Breaking Benjamin CD. This one's just iconic. I mean, a lot of these songs I saw in AMVs. So when I saw the CD, I'm like, I'm obviously gonna get it. I do like the aesthetic. It's very dark and dirty. Let's take a look at the booklet. You know, they put some effort. It's very early 2000s-esque, which I am a fan of. And the songs themselves are really, really good. Okay, like these are some bangers. Dude, he looks like my friend Nico. Like if Nico shaved his head, he would look just like that. I'm gonna have to give this one an A. I mean, Breaking Benjamin is just goated. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan, but I've seen them live. I do like all the songs on this album, and yeah. If someone's familiar with them extensively though, could you let me know if they're Christian rock? Because the reason why I asked that is because they're always performing with Lacey Sturm, so it's confusing to me. Anyway, Breaking Benjamin. Oh, my history of Breaking Benjamin. I used to watch AMVs all the time as a preteen, and dude, you guys are gonna laugh at me, but I used to watch Sonic AMVs, and they would always use Diary of Jane and fucking Dance with the Devil. That was in a Future Diary AMV. So that's kind of how I got into them. So the next CD that I got, I don't remember if I put this in my last update, but I got the Cardigans. I'm having like this vague memory that I did, so I'm just gonna speed run this one. I like the Cardigans because they really remind me of Mars Argo. I wish I could get a Mars Argo CD, but I think that's gonna be relatively impossible to find. This is what it looks like on the inside. I totally just broke it, but it's, you know, it's kind of boring. I would give this one a C. The music's really, really good. I'm a big fan. I just don't really like when the presentation looks like this. This might honestly be a bootleg CD. It looks a little bit like PNG, but maybe it did come that way. I'm not really sure. And also the fact that it just like broke into a million pieces, but also like it's not a very interesting booklet. So I apologize if I already went over this one. But yeah, it's one of my newer CDs. So I decided in between some CDs, I'm going to show off my LABUBU and LAFUFU collection. It's really small. It's nothing like my PB Empire. However, I'm kind of into LABUBUs and LAFUFUs. I have more LAFUFU than I do LABUBU, obviously, just because LABUBU are freakishly expensive. But here's my first LABUBU, the Coke LABUBU. This one's my favorite personally, so I'm really happy that I got him. I like the glass bottle Coke more than can Coke, and the little Santa hat's like a cute little reference to the polar bear. I'm a really big fan of this one. I put him on my Shadow the Hedgehog purse just because I don't use that purse very often because I don't feel comfortable. You know, his fur is white, so I don't want him to get dirty, obviously. But this is my Coke LABUBU. I actually have another Coke LABUBU on the way. It should be coming in today. And I hope it's a different one. But if I get another one of this guy, I'm totally okay with that. Me and my wife will be matching then. So the next CD that I have is another Hail the Sun one, Culture Scars. I almost have my complete Hail the Sun CD collection. I'm really just waiting for them to re-release Wake. I don't know why they haven't, but they haven't. They're making my life very, very hard. It's just weird to me because it's like one of their most popular albums, but whatever. So I have Culture Scars, and then I'm obviously gonna buy the new CD that they're gonna release in October. Very excited about that. I really, really like this album. I think the lyricism's a lot more niche. The songs in general are a lot more niche. But I really like what he has to say in all of them. And the presentation of the CD is really nice. I do hate the booklet though. This is just a mess. Y'all know I don't really like when it's messy like that. However, the other side's cool, you know. They're not very subtle with their symbolism, but I like a bit of bluntness, you know. So they're one of my favorite bands of all time. I actually have a story about Hail the Sun. This guy, because I work at, actually I'm not even going to disclose that information, but I work in a public setting, and a person actually came up to me and they saw my Hail the Sun tattoo and they recognized it. And we went to the same like Hail the Sun concert and everything. It was so funny. And I regret not asking like his name or his like contact information. Like we could have been friends. So I'm just very airheaded. I walked out of the interaction and just left. But anyways, this is gonna get an A, I would say. I would give it an S, just the booklet I'm not a big fan of, but the songs are really, really good. My favorite one is Never Kill a Mouse, Let It Kill Itself. But I've also been really into Body Damage lately. I don't know, especially when you're driving, so. Okay, next I got another Pink CD. I actually had this one growing up, so when I saw it at Half Price Books, I'm like, obviously need it again because childhood. It's such a great presentation, and I kind of like when artists do greatest hits because, you know, you get all their bangers in one. Because sometimes you get a CD and then there's some flops in there, which is unfortunate because all CDs should be goated, but they just are not created equal, and that's just a fact, and that's okay. That's okay. Let me show y'all the actual disc. Oh, and this one comes with 2 discs. This is the DVD, and y'all know I'm a sucker for DVDs. I just wish I had a way to actually play DVDs because I have a lot of like discs. Maybe one day I'll show y'all my anime and like movie collection. I don't really collect that stuff as much as I collect CDs though. So Pink, I'm gonna give this an S just because the songs are bangers. You get you get your bang for your buck essentially. How many songs are on here? There's literally 21 songs. Oh, just kidding. 18. 18 on disc 1, 20 on the DVD. So I got this for $5 and you get like hours of content, and it's good content. It's not slop. So if you're a Pink fan, this is the one you should get. Like, you honestly don't need any of her other CDs. Just get this. It's a LABUBU break. This is my second LABUBU. I actually got this one today. She's so cute. I really, really like this one. The heart is so cute. The crown is really cute. I've seen people have this one, but they take off all the accessories, and I'm not gonna do that because I personally like them. And since it's like a special edition thing, I don't want to lose any of the clothing items. I put this on one of my main purses just because I don't really take out my LABUBU purses like in public because I have been roasted, which is so embarrassing. Like, I remember I went to the store and I had a LABUBU on my bag, and I mean, I thought it passed. Clearly not, because the cashier's like, nice LABUBU. And I got so embarrassed, like, I got called out. So I'm very proud of this one. No shame in LABUBUs. I love LABUBUs, and I'm gonna show y'all. I have 3 LABUBUs, so. But people are mean. I forgot what this one's called. I think it's called like Checkmate or something. So cute. Oh my gosh, my legs! Wait. Okay, well, if it was something else, I'm gonna edit that. Oh my gosh. Anyways, the next artist that I got was Poppy. I have a very complicated past with Poppy, but I like two of her CDs a lot, regardless, because I can separate the art from the artist, y'all. I know some people can't. However, I can. So, this is the first CD that I really, really liked from her. This is when she kind of like started getting serious about the metal shtick. Still of Titanic Sinclair, so it's not her best CD, but you know, it's a really, really strong start. I really like the switch offs between cutesy and rah, 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 rah. And she's also a pretty good screamer. Like, she really is. I was very surprised and impressed. Here is the booklet. I really like the aesthetic. I feel like the booklet has a little bit more to be desired, but you know what? I kind of like the scrapbook quality of it. I feel like I'm holding this like backwards or something. I definitely am. Anyways, I would give the presentation an S. Honestly, the songs are an S. Even if they are a little bit gimmicky still. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I listen to this all the time during COVID. And I think Don't Go Outside is really creepy, especially like in that context. Yeah. I'm gonna go into more detail about my past with Poppy after I talk about all the CDs I have of her, because it might be a long story. So I also have Negative Spaces, so this is her newest one. I really, really like this one. I think I like this one more than I Disagree. Can I show this on YouTube? It's too late. I didn't make the CD, okay? She's just half naked, okay? That's okay. Here's the booklet. This one is a little bit worse, actually. At least they tried to like be a little cutesy with the, I don't know. You guys already know by now, I don't like that. And then the CD. Not a huge fan of the CD either. I don't like when they just put the album cover. I feel like that's a little bit lazy. However, these photos are really, really cool. I'm gonna give it an A-. Just because I feel like there's a little bit more to be desired. But the music's really good, and I'm so excited because I saw that Evanescence, Spirit Box, and Poppy are gonna collab, which is I'm not a huge fan of Spirit Box, but I know it must be like a dream come true for Courtney because she loves Amy Lee. I mean, you'd have to be out of your mind to not love Amy Lee. So I'm still very, very hype. I'm excited to see like some screaming mixed in with Amy Lee's amazing vocals. So let me talk about my history with Poppy. So my history with Poppy is that I got really, really into her when her little gimmicky videos first started coming out, like years ago. Like, it has to be over 10 years ago now. When she was still playing that like soulless computer type character, you know, when she was like ripping off Mars Argo and her whole shtick. But this was before I even knew about Mars Argo, so I was like watching all those videos, like unsettling YouTube channels, and it would always be about Poppy. So I was kind of drawn to her for a really long time, and then when I found out about Mars Argo through the lawsuit and everything, Poppy just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I know she tries to say like Titanic Sinclair is like solely to blame and that like he made her do all that stuff, but some of the things that she did, like she was old enough to really know that she was being a bully, and going too far and really ruining an innocent girl's life. So I don't completely sympathize with Poppy as a person. I do understand that she could have been a victim from Titanic, because Titanic Sinclair is just a little bit like, everyone knows that. But I don't know, she just kind of rubbed me wrong. And, soon after the lawsuit, that's when Poppy dropped him. And in my perspective, it kind of looks like she was seeing how all his past behaviors were finally catching up with him. And she decided, like, it wasn't looking so good for her anymore. And she dropped him. But the thing is, lately I've been having a more positive outlook on Poppy, just because she finally found her own sound. She's no longer copying someone else. And, ever since removing that disgusting guy out of her life, she is more successful than she's ever been before. And she doesn't have to rely on, like, some weird gimmick that she wasn't even happy with doing with. So I can really see that improvement. She's really changed as a person. I just still think it's sad that somebody had to be caught in the crossfire of the path that she walked on. That's all. But Amy Lee has a really, really high opinion of her, obviously, or she wouldn't have worked on a song with her. So I'm really giving her the benefit of the doubt. And I've still been listening to her music, and I'm still a fan of her. And I think she's really, really talented and pretty, and I'm just glad she's just doing her own thing now. That's my little spiel. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not changing my mind, because at the end of the day, I'm a huge Mars Argo fan and Britney Sheets fan, and I mean, that's what kind of inspired my channel too. Like, I was doing that gimmick when I first started off, because it was just fun. It's just fun. I felt like she was someone that understood me. It's time for the scheduled LABUBU break. This one is my favorite LABUBU that I own. It's so cursed. It's so fake. I really, really like her. I'm gonna name her Yuno. This is the only one that I have with a name, like an actual name. I keep changing the other ones. My coworker bought me this one because I don't think she knew it was fake. But you know what? I really, really love it. I love the sentiment. She's like, "You really like the Coke LABUBU, right? Like, I found this." And I opened it. I'm like, I had to, like, keep myself from laughing because, she's an older lady. So she's just, it's not super familiar. But I'm very, very grateful for it. I really love her. She's on my main purse. I take her with me everywhere I go. The heart eyes, the Coke, the greasy forehead. She's everything. Back to the scheduled program. I have a No Doubt CD. Not my favorite one, but I really, really like it. I love her pink hair. I'm actually dyeing my hair pink next month, so I'm probably gonna look like her. So next time I make another one of these videos, I'm gonna look wildly different again because I cut off all my hair for this one. OMG. This is the inside. I really, really like it. It's so groovy. Gwen Stefani is just an icon. I think we can all agree that she's really, really cool. Presentation alone is gonna give this album an S. I can't believe I got this for $5. But the songs are really, really good. I wouldn't say they're my favorite, but some of them are just bangers. Like, I love Ex-Girlfriend. And that's the only one I could think of from the top of my head. But I did listen to the whole thing and I enjoyed myself. I want to get more No Doubt CDs. I want the one of Don't Speak. And I want Gwen Stefani CDs as well. My history with No Doubt / Gwen Stefani is my mom, actually. She was kind of into No Doubt. Her favorite song was Don't Speak, so I heard it all the time as a kid growing up. And obviously when she was writing that, like, Banana song, that was on the radio all the time. So she's been girly pop to me basically all my life. This is my Revis CD. This is the only Revis CD that they ever did. Because they, unfortunately, like, they're very good. They just didn't really stand out. They were just kind of like dad rock number 57. But, you know, I'm a sucker for dad rock, so I don't really care. Funny story about this CD is that I had to buy two because my neighbor stole the first one for some fucking reason. And I was knocking on their door, like, every day for 3 days, and they just weren't opening the door. And I'm like, dude, it's Revis. Like, y'all don't even know who the fuck that is. I really, really doubt it. So anyway, I eventually just gave up because Amazon couldn't really do anything for me. They put it at the wrong address. They put it in my neighbor's, and then they just weren't giving it back. So I bought another one, and then I swear, 3 days later, after I finally get the new one, my neighbor gives me back the one that they took from me. I don't need two. Why couldn't you just give it to me the first time? People just don't make any sense. But anyways, that's my story with Revis. CD presentation, I'm going to give a B-, not very interesting, a little bit dull. However, I do love the songs. I'm a fan. I got into Revis because my friend Bonnie put Living Rooms in my playlist, and I'm addicted to that song. It's the best song on the album, and it's the only reason why I bought the whole CD. So, I'm glad that I was able to find these guys and support them, even though they definitely broke up. We are finally getting into one of my favorite bands ever, Seether. Womp womp womp. I love Seether, and I think we're going to end off on Seether because I have a handful of Seether albums. Do not have the full collection. I'm still working on getting all my CDs back because I used to own all the CDs, but I have a decent amount. I totally got scammed though, because I used to have the booklet version. I guess they're just not giving out the booklet version anymore. Fuck my life. And then I also used to own the one that would open up and you'd get the DVD. So I'm a little bit salty that this is not that version, but this is the first Seether album I ever listened to, obviously because it's the one of Amy Lee. Drama. Anyways, I remember I bought this in middle school and I was just listening to it back to back. Like, I was enamored. I fell in love with his lyricism, his voice. He's a really, really talented and troubled guy, but I really, really like him. Definitely top 3 favorite bands of all time. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. He's very consistent. Some may say he's boring, but I think they're just kind of missing the point of what he's trying to say. I'm not gonna say every song in the world is the best, but he doesn't have a single bad song. He really, really doesn't. So, disclaimer 2 just really means a lot to me, personally. It's time for another LABUBU reveal. I need to flip. So she's actually a dark angel, and her name is Misery. This is actually the first LABUBU I ever bought, and this is the one that got called out. I guess, like, now that I have a real LABUBU, I can see that this one's a LABUBU just because the proportions are a little bit off, but dude, I had no fucking idea. I still think she's adorable, okay? Like, oh my god. Okay, so we're gonna pretend that didn't happen. This is my long Furby, by the way. I'm sure y'all have seen her squirming around. I love her. Her name's Nazmirk. She's a very, very good girl. But she's kind of like hard to make her be comfortable. So let's move on. We have Karma in Effect. This one is like low-key the saddest CD. I need to prop my phone. I'm pretty sure he was still with Amy Lee when this came out, because it's only what, 2005? But I mean, this is when the relationship was probably getting rough. Not that that defines him or whatever, but I mean, it's a little bit obvious. Love the presentation of this CD. What did I give the other one? This is kind of giving In Utero by Nirvana. That's probably intentional, but I really like this one. This layout's gonna get an S. The other CD is also gonna get an S. I just got scammed because that's not the booklet. It didn't come with the fucking booklet. So I only really listen to The Gift when I'm really depressed because it's really, really The Gift. This whole Karma and Effect, bro. The Gift is on Karma and Effect. So I don't listen to this CD all the time. I really only listen to it when I'm really in a bad place because it's really heavy and it doesn't give me the best thoughts. But it is a really, really good CD. It's been there for me when nothing else has. So I have a lot of memories of just like sitting in the bath, like staring at the ceiling, like damn. Or just like curling up in bed in the middle of the fucking night with my AirPods in. Yeah. It's time for my favorite Seether album. Yay! Finding Beauty in Negative Spaces. So when I had an iPod, I would just buy random songs off of this CD in particular. This is when Amy Lee dumped him too, and his brother committed suicide, which is really, really sad. I think it's really cool that he put a little tribute. I love this CD. My all-time favorite Seether song, Walk Away from the Sun, is on this CD. I remember when I first bought it at my therapist's office because I had an iTunes gift card and I just selected like a random song and I didn't want to judge a title by its title or song by its title. So I just gave it a try and now it's like my ultimate favorite Seether song. I would definitely sing more Seether songs on the channel, but as you know, his voice is really, really low, and that's really, really hard for me to do. Because when I try to do an octave higher, I just sound like a squeaky little rat, which is why I typically do nightcore versions whenever I even attempt to do Seether. But yeah, this CD means a lot to me, and it's my favorite. It's probably not their best CD, because he does improve, but it's the one that means the most to me, if that makes sense. I remember ordering it from my record shop called Rolling Stones in Chicago, and they had like this janky like computer that you could order stuff from, and it smells like incense and low-key weed in there, and good vibes. Bro, I got distracted for like fucking 10 minutes and now I don't even want to do this anymore. Okay, moving on. A Seether One Cold Night, aka the best live album that I've ever heard in my entire life. It's not much for presentation just because he's singing a lot of songs that he's had up until this point, with some unreleased songs as well. I've mentioned this before in like my band reviews that this is like such an amazing album, and I'm really glad that I can finally own it because he sounds really good live. He really does, especially acoustic. Presentation wise, it's gonna have to get like a B+ because I do like this CD. I do like the cover. Not really into, there is no booklet again. I'm sorry I'm not really going into much detail about these. It's just because I've talked about them in much more detail in the band reviews. So, I own you. Ah! The next Seether album I have is Holding On to Strings Better Left to Fray. This album cover always kind of creeped me out / negative. Not a huge fan of the cover. Not a huge fan of the CD either, but it is cool. It's just kind of giving point and click adventure, and it kind of makes my stomach hurt. Once again, I do like the booklet. I mean, he kind of ate it up, as per usual. The songs on this one are a little bit hit or miss. None of them are bad, per se. I would just say there's a handful that are a bit forgettable. However, there's some real bangers on this one, like For Q, Country Song, Roses Down. I do like the deluxe version of this. I do not own it, but if I ever do, I would be delighted to. This one's gonna get a B. I can't really give it a C because they did put effort into it and there's creativity. I'm just personally not a fan of the aesthetics behind this one. It is now time for my final LABUBU for now. McDonald's LABUBU. This one's actually for my wife. She just really wanted one of a McDonald's outfit, so that's what we did. His feet are kind of falling into pieces, but he's really cute. He is. He's a hard worker, and he likes the McDonald's land meal, and I can really respect that, because so do I. The next Seether CD I have is this one, Isolate and Medicate. I'm gonna say Isolate and Meditate, but it's Medicate. This cover I like a little bit more. It's also a little bit creepy, but I do like it. This is giving I Spy. I found this one at an FYE. Remember when that was a thing? I'm glad that they still sell CDs in some FYE spots. This is actually the deluxe version, so I'm very hype about that. I'm gonna give this one... Is it just me, or I feel like Sean looks better when he does his hair like this. I know the long hair is iconic, but he just does not know how to wash his hair, so I think the short hair is a lot better for him, personally. It's a cool little CD too. This one's gonna get an A+ for me. Really, really good songs. I especially like the deluxe tracks, like Turnaround and Weak and Burn the World are banger after banger after banger. For some reason his deluxe songs are usually better than the ones that are like on the normal CD. That might be an unpopular opinion, but I believe it. I can't pronounce this one. It's the one in Latin. But this one I think is literally like one of his most well-written albums that he's ever created, and I love the aesthetics behind it, and I have the deluxe version. So cool. I love the red. A little bit boring otherwise, but the red does pop. Ugh. And then the CDs are really, really cool. I used to listen to this like non-stop when it first came out. So freaking cool. Gee. I mean, they look the same. Fantasy Records is cool. I just like the name. This one's gonna get an S. A banger. And then let me go ahead and get... Oh, there it is. So I'm putting these kind of together because there's a lot of like overlap between the tracks. This is more like an EP, but it's pretty good. This one's gonna get an A. Because again, it's a lot of overlap. Literally, Wasteland is on here twice. He really likes that song, huh? But I love What Would You Do, Will It Ever End, and Feast or Famine. Not much to say about that. Then the last Seether album I have is their newest one. This is the one that my friend is borrowing. I lent it to him in April. I don't think I'm ever going to see it again, so I just bought myself another one because I'm not going to keep asking. Really love the presentation on this one. I do love the new songs a lot too. Even though he's a little bit more positive, I think this would be my third favorite Seether album. It would be Negative Spaces, the Latin one, and then this one, I think. Super cool. He really like mastered his craft, I think. This one's gonna get an A+ because it's cool. It's just cool. I saw one at a CD shop that was like this, but it was in red, and I wonder if that's the deluxe version. I don't know why I didn't buy it, but I did see it. And it's super cool. This one was produced by Sean himself. That's why the mixing's a little bit interesting. And I don't mean that in a negative way, sorry. That sounded really passive aggressive. But that is all that I have with Seether. I'm missing like Poison the Parish and I think something else. Poison the Parish is just kind of my least favorite, but there are some bangers on that one. So I've been kind of putting it off, but I will be buying that one. And what else am I missing? Like the greatest hits with the dog taking a dump. Really tasteful, I know. I used to own that one. And then the one with the axolotl. So I'm missing kind of a few. But as you can see, I am a Seether fan though, and I have a lot of them. So I'm gonna wrap it up for now because I burnt myself out again. So see you in part 4. Bye everyone!